Is there a new Leatherman Skeletool competitor in town? So that is the topic we have today. This is a brand new multi-tool that I just got recently, and wow, there's a lot of things going on right here. Now, first of all, let's go ahead and bring in the Skeletool for a comparison. And then let's go ahead and get started with this tool. So already closed up, we find that the Skeletool will be quite a bit shorter. So this is almost like the Skeletool's giant brother. So once we open this up, we do notice that we have a fairly small plier head at the top. So we've got a very large frame right here. And then we've got almost the same size actually as the Leatherman Skeletool for the plier head. So a fairly small plier head, but a very large frame multi-tool. And then we've got these two sides of the frame right here. And then on this side, you'll notice they have got a huge hammer end. Now, that is unique in that the Skeletool, a lot of people have been trying to make hammer ends for it. This is an insert I bought that sort of adds a hammer end, and you can buy something like this to actually put on the Skeletool. So that's why I think this is supposed to be, to some extent, a larger Skeletool, but we'll see if it lives up to its hype. Now this right here, we've got, it looks like our nail puller, and then we've got a bit driver on the end right there. So let's go ahead and open this up and look at the bit driver first of all. Now the bit drivers, you can push out the bits right here, and then they actually swing out. So you can push them out like so. And then you've got a magnet in the back right here, and then they fit in fairly solidly like so. You can close this up, and then you've got your bit driver right there. Now, there's a couple issues with this. One of the issues is that this is a fairly large tool to be manipulating. So this will come in at 10 ounces. So this is getting close to a surge weight. So just so you know, this Skeletool is around half of the size of this tool. So there's quite a bit of weight difference on this tool as far as size. And then the other issue is these are not a 1/4 inch bits. These are like those 4mm bits, which are just in between the size of your, let's see, I forget how this goes in here, like one way. There we go. So this is in between the size of your 4mm bits and your 1/4 inch bits. So 4mm, you know, way too small. And then I'll grab a 1/4 inch bit. This is a 1/4 inch to 4mm adapter, and it's way too big. So we've got, again, this sort of off size 5mm size. And here in the States where I live, I just don't see 5mm. Apparently they're a lot more readily available overseas, but where I live, they're not. So I think that's a huge issue for this tool. It negates a lot of the positives of the bit driver, unfortunately. And then on the outside right here, we've got this fairly large awl right here, which is interesting. These are non-locking. And then on this side, we have the all-important can opener, bottle cap lifter, tiny screwdriver at the end, perhaps. We've got that as well. And then on this side rather, we've got a very long saw, but again, non-locking. So very long. And then we've got a very long knife blade as well. Now, I like the color of the handles. I think it's neat, this orange accent, but some of the way this is made sort of surprises me a little bit. I do feel like we've got a lot of plastic inserts, and some of the tools do feel gritty, and they don't lock. So when you close the pliers, I guess they're okay, but they do feel a little bit cheaper quality than some of the like buy bearing and day camping tools I've been used to. So this is not extreme quality, but again, it's only about $22 on AliExpress. Now, at the time of doing this video, they were already out of stock. I just recently got this, so I'll try to find a place where they're in stock, but I may have to give you a link where they're out of stock. You may just have to keep checking back in if you're interested. I do also think it's a little ironic that with such a large multi-tool, you have this sort of little pocket clip, but I think it should work for all intents and purposes. Now, one of the other disappointments I had with this tool was it's supposed to have a ferrule rod and I think a whistle right here, and mine was missing. So this is the holder for it, but it doesn't have it doesn't have the tool. So it was supposed to fit in, I think, something like this. This is off another tool, and then it would fit right in. But obviously this is too thick, so it was made a little bit thinner to fit in there. But unfortunately, it is gone. It does also come with a very large, very generic, very universal, very huge pouch. This looks more like for a cell phone than a multi-tool. I mean, this is gigantic, but you do get it. So it fits in here and then it swims around a lot. Not a huge fan of that either. And this right here is the packaging you get with this. So again, it shows your 4 blades. You've got your hammer in, you've got your bits. You do have, again, keep in mind, you do have replaceable wire cutters right there as well. So then it talks about easily cutting 3mm iron wire. It's got this head, this bit driver, magnesium lighter, the ferrule rod, if it comes with it. It's supposed to easily prune branches, can opener, and pull out nails, and then the hacksaw through branches. So that's what it's advertised as. But again, I was missing some parts. So at first I was really excited about this. I saw this, I was like, oh, a brand new multi-tool. Wow, that looks really neat. I was excited for it to come, but once I felt it in my hands, oh, it's disappointing. Very disappointing. And well, obviously it's missing parts. It's got those bits that aren't really normal, and it's a very large multi-tool. So again, comparing the Skeletool to this, and I know the Skeletool, it's just the closest thing that came to mind. This is very large compared to that. So keep that in mind.